you ready, Marla?
Some people.
Much as I love y'all, can we please mute ourselves unless we have questions? Person who's coming in particular. Thank you, Jasmine. All right.
I
So
can't see the
from
camera.
here, Alex,
I can't see the
what?
camera.
You can't see this?
I can't see nothing.
Can everyone not see anything?
I can see it.
I can see it.
Who's talking?
Alex, if you need to like leave the chat and then come back, that's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna come back.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So for the rest of y'all, go ahead and write down this first statement, and it'll make a lot more sense when we actually do it. So go ahead and write it down. Okay? Yeah. You got it. All right. Are we good? All right. Yeah. Then we can figure out who I need to mute. That's so much work. All right. So from here, we're gonna start with the first problem. If we're all ready for that, hopefully. All right. To start the square off, we're going to multiply, which is super easy. So rather square. So right, the opposite of a square root is a square, and we want to get rid of the square root, right? So we're going to square both sides. Super easy. So when we do that, that gets rid of the square root, right? So we're left with 2x plus 7 equals, and then we know 6 squared is 36, right? And then from here, right, we just solve. So if we were going to solve this, we're going to subtract 7 on both sides, right? And then we'll get 2x equals 29, right? And then divide by 2. Oh my God. Oh.
Is this line to Brother George?
There we go. All right, and when we divide by 2, we either can leave it as a fraction, or you're welcome to write the decimal. Either one's okay. Okay? Does that make sense? I'm going to go with the relative silence and no one chatting. Marco, I went to sleep at 5 a.m., so relatable content. That said, y'all should be helping get your sleep.
Yeah, but it's math, not sleep class.
Glad you're already back. All right. From here, we need to do a check. So this check is a little bit different than our checks in the past, okay? So this check, what we do is we plug it in, right? We plug it into our radical, right? So we have x equals 14.5. We're going to plug that in, or we're going to plug in our fraction, actually, right? Just into the radical, right? And so when we do that, we know that, of course, these 2's would cancel out, right? And
Where do I get 9D notes?
what? They
Where do I
should
get
in your class notebook. They should also be an assignment within Teams.
how am I supposed to be there and this one at the same time?
I left a list of ways to do that. You can either have Teams open on your phone. You can have multiple windows open on your computer. You could write this on a piece of paper. There are many options here.
We're running short on toilet paper these days.
Don't write it. What? Okay. And then we know that's equal to 6, right? And so this is equal to this, right? So we're good. So right, you're just plugging it in to make sure you get the same answer. If you don't, then it's an extraneous solution, right? Which we'll talk about. We're looking to make sure it's not an extraneous solution. Got it? All right. So, same thing with number 2, right? So first thing we're going to do is square both sides, right? And when we square both sides, we're left with 4x minus 3 equals 25. Right? And then from here, We're going to add 3 on both sides. Okay? To solve the problem, get 4x equals 28. And remember, tell me to slow down or ask any questions in the chat, and I am looking at it and will answer. Okay? And then from
Okay,
here,
scroll down.
yes, give me 1 sec. We're going to divide. All right.
Okay, now you can speed up.
Thank you, Alex. All right. Now we're going to do the check. All right. So in order to do the check, we just plug it back into the radical, right? So we're going to plug in the x, which is 7. Right? 3. Good. So 4 times 7 is 28. Minus 3, which is 25, which is, well, technically this should be a plus or minus, right? So it's plus or minus 5, right? But the important part is that we get back to at least that answer, right? So we're good. Is anyone unhappy? I think there's 2 pages in this. Yeah. Oh, 5 and 6 might have been put on the same page for y'all, but there should be 6 problems.
Mm-hmm.
Might have reformatted it before I gave it to you. I can't remember. Cool. How do we feel? All right, I'm gonna go ahead then, because it seems like we're doing okay. All right, so it's the same kind of solving situation where you want to get the squared by itself, right? But here it was already by itself. Here we have to get that radical by itself first, right? So the first thing we're gonna do here is we're going to add 12 to both sides, right? So we're left with 3x, these cancel out, equals 8. All right, and so from here, what is the opposite of a cube root? Anyone? Go ahead and text it.
Negative
Please
cube
tell
root.
me. No, it is not a negative cube root.
Imaginary 3.
Anyone? In the chat, in person. I don't care.
Imaginary 3.
Exactly. Very good, Marco. All right. So we're going to cube both sides, right? Just like a square root gets rid of a square, a cube gets rid of a cube root. All right. So then we're just left with x equals, what's 8 to the 3rd power? I need a calculator for that. Yeah, I don't. 512, right? Someone check that on the calculator, please. Yes, to the 3rd power. Very good, y'all. I'm proud of y'all. And then from here, I'm going to assume I'm right because no one told me I'm wrong. We just need to do our check, right? Because we already have x by itself, right? X equals something. So we're going to do our check, which is just plugging it back in, right? So if we plug it into this equation, right, we do cube of x, which is 512, right? And if we did that on a calculator, so on a calculator, if you don't remember how to do this, you can do 512 to the 1 divided by 3. Okay? Or actually 1. If you needed to double check that on a calculator, okay? It would look like this. So that would be calculator stuff. All right. Whoever is loud, stop. And I think it's Alex. From here, so right, if you did that on a calculator, which I'm sure you all could do if it was a test, you would get that equals 8, right? And then we just plug it back in here, right? So 8 minus 12 equals negative 4, right? Which is what we got here. So we're just making sure the answer makes sense when we plug it back in. Okay. So that's it. That's how we know it's our answer. Right? So what our actual answer is in this case, it's this, right? And in these cases, it was this. This. Okay? All right, cool. All right, let's do the next one. All right, so same general set of things that we just did. Subtract 3 on both sides. I didn't realize this was so easy, y'all. I'm pleased. All right. Great. And then from here, what are we going to do, Alex? Or anyone else who's Samantha?
What?
What are we going to do from here?
You cube 6.
Good. Like, who has their mic on right now? Basically. Thank you, David and Kayla. Oh, y'all were out ready. I was just like not looking. There are too many things, y'all. All right, good. So from here, we get 2x equals, and then 6 cubed. You know how to do that on a calculator, 6 to the 3rd power. I think that's like 216. All right. From here, then we would just have to solve like we did up here, right? So we're just going to divide by 2 on both sides, right? And so we'd be left with x equals 108. All right. So from here, right, we're just going to plug it in and make sure it works, right? So honestly, another way to write the check, if you feel like being lazy like me, is to say 3, right, 2 times 108 plus 3 equals 9, right? Just writing it out like that. And then you go from here, you do this, so just bring us back to 216, right? And then the cube root of 216, if you did that on a calculator, right, it would look like this on a calculator. Would give you, say, class 6. And then we know that 6 plus 3 equals 9. So we're good, right? That's another way to write it. Thank you, Alex. All right. How do we feel about this?
We feel good.
I'm like, I feel like this is an easy one to do online and like not have our brains explode, which is always, of course, the goal. No brain explosion. So from here, the only thing that makes these harder is there are squares on both sides, right? Which is never really that fun. So these ones, you're gonna need space for. So if you don't have enough space on your paper, go ahead and get some line piece paper. This one isn't hard, it's just long, okay? All right. With these ones, right, you can't really get the square root alone, right? Because there's two square roots, that doesn't work real well. So instead, we're just gonna square both sides again, just like we did before. But the difference is when we square both sides, right, on this side, the root goes away, right? So we're just left with 3 minus x. But on this side, we're rewriting that as a foiling problem. Because remember, we're foiling the whole thing, right? So we're multiplying it by itself. Did we follow that? Hopefully. Okay. I will slow down. Sorry, Dave. Let me know when you're good, okay? Probably the hardest problem in the notes, and then number 6 is more or less the same as number 5. Okay? All right. Why do you keep the square root when you FOIL? Because right now the square isn't getting rid of the square root, right? We're saying because there's this plus 1 right here, we can't get rid of the square root because the square root's not on both of them, right? So instead, you have to FOIL, right? So we know when we square something, it's the same thing as having them multiply each other, right? And so it gets rid of the square root over here because there's a square root around everything. Over here, it doesn't get rid of the square root and it doesn't even get rid of the square, right? So that's why we have two of them. Does that make sense, Kayla? Okay, sweet. So from here, we're going to FOIL. Do you remember how to FOIL, hopefully, at this point? I know, I say that and then I worry. All right, so we're going to do first, right? Try these two. So when we multiply x plus 2 times x plus 2, but the square roots of that, right, that's the same thing as writing x plus 2. And then let's do outer. That in a different color. I know y'all don't care, but I care. All right.
Yo, stop muting me. Who's
All right, so that's these ones. 1 times anything is just itself, right? And then we need to do the inners, right? Right, and then the last ones, which are going to be that's plus 1. And then, of course, bring down the equals 3 minus x, right? Okay, and then from here, a square and a square root cancel each other out. So we're left with x plus 2. And then we're going to combine these two terms, right? So that just becomes 2x plus 2, right? Because we have 2 of them. All right, and then we have our plus 1 equals 3 minus x. All right, so from here, any thoughts on what we do next? Subtract 1. That's one thought. I think the way I would do it is I would move everything over here just to make it easier, but you're not wrong. As long as you're ending up combining like terms, you're probably good. And I'm going to break this into a couple steps here. So first, let's combine these two, all right? So the 2 and the 1, we can combine those, right? So then we'll get x plus 3 plus 2 root x plus 2 equals 3 minus x. I'm going to move everything over to here just to keep everything. Actually, I see your point. So another way to do this, let's see, what's the easiest way to do this? You want to get the square root by itself again, right? So that we can, again, square. Does that make sense? That our goal is to get the square root by itself? So you were right. We should probably move everything over here. And so, right, that's going to be subtracting 3, right? And then subtracting x and subtracting x, right? Which gives us something. Alex?
Oh, that was off.
Oof, long problem, I told y'all.
Wouldn't it be adding x?
Yeah, it would be
Okay.
adding x, not subtracting x, right?
I think so.
If I subtracted x, so I moved it over here.
Oh, you're subtracting from that side?
Yes. Sorry, that was
Okay. Never mind.
Does that make sense?
Oh, it's because it's the other way. Yeah.
Because we want to get, I like misspoke for a little bit, so that was my bad. We want to get the square root by itself, right? So I'm trying to move everything else over onto the right side. Okay? All right, so from here, what do I need to do next to get the square root by itself?
Divide by 2.
I'm going to divide by 2, right? So that leaves me with the square root of x plus 2 equals negative x. How do I get rid of the square root? Very good, Kayla. We're gonna square it.
You square it.
Thank you, Alex, for repeating what Kayla just said.
She didn't say square. She said square. Square.
So what did we say about not being a jerk?
Ah, okay.
Negative times a negative is itself. So we get x squared, right? Or negative times negative is a positive. Sorry, don't know where I got that. All right, so we get x squared, right? And then from here, now we're going to bring it all on the same side and factor. This is always the side, you know. All right, so, right, because we have an x squared and an x, we can't do anything other than factor in order to solve this, right? So I'm going to subtract x, so it moves over here, and subtract 2, so it moves over here.
She's done. I think she's done.
Alex.
Like, medically speaking, are you like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, are you done? Are you done? I think she's done.
Okay, yeah, whoever I can hear, stop it. All right. From here, what are we gonna do?
Factor.
Very good. Who was that? Sophia? Who was
Yeah.
Sophia? Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna factor. So we're gonna get x minus 2, x plus 1, right? And then, of course, bring down the 0. Now, how do we solve for x?
Subtract.
Not quite. We're going to set them each equal to 0, right? So whenever we factor and we're trying to solve, we set them equal to 0 like that. All right, and then we solve. So we get 2 equals x and negative 1 equals x. All right. Now, this is where the check happens, and it's actually useful, right? The check really hasn't been helpful before. But now we have to check both of our solutions. So we're going to plug them both in, right? So I'm going to start with 2 equals x, right? Or x equals 2. All right. When I plug that in,
I can't see.
okay, thank you. All right, so I'm just plugging it in here. So 2 plus 2 is 4, right? Did I do this right? Yeah, okay. And then the square root of 4 is what? Plus or minus 2, right?
I think your nails are wet.
What?
Your nails are wet.
No, they just have top coat on them, Alex. Why would just my nails be wet? Strange child. Okay. And then from here, right, because we have a plus or minus, we're going to split that into 2, right? So we're either going to have 2 plus 1 or negative 2 plus 1, right? And so that's 3 or 1, right? And because one of those answers doesn't work, you have to say that the whole thing doesn't work, right? If we got either a positive or negative 1, then it would work. But because one of those answers doesn't work, that doesn't work. And that's, again, if we remember the word, that's what we call an extraneous solution. So because one of these doesn't work, it's an extraneous solution, all right? And then from here, we're of course going to check the other one. Negative 1 equals x. So we plug it back in, negative 1, right? Plus 2. There we go. All right, don't forget that. Negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1. So we get plus or minus 1 plus 1 equals plus or minus 2. Okay, so scratch what I said about the plus or minus. I know that's terrible because I already did this, and if this was a video, I would have just edited it, but I can't because this is live, so awkward. So just like, don't do the plus or minus. Just do the positive answer for this, because that's what Miss Terpstra has in her notes, and I'm not quite sure why, but we're going to go with it. All right. So real quick, just follow what I do in red as their edit. All right. All right. So this is going to say 3 equals 1, which is wrong. So it's an extraneous solution. And then over here, just follow this edit where we take away the plus and minus, and then 2 equals 2, so it's fine. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna wait and take a break right here. So follow what I have written on the page right now. We are only dealing with the positives here, no plus or minuses in our square roots when we check. And that's not how I learned it, but that's how Miss Terpstra wants you to do it, and I'm trying to follow her notes, which is why I messed up. I'm sorry, David. I don't know what to do. And I'll post these notes later, so you'll see them, okay? So that is what happened here. So only on the check. And I will remind y'all because that was me who messed up, and I'm sorry. Yes. Oh, X, if it was the opposite of a check mark, no, it doesn't work. Does that make sense, Nicole? Yeah, sorry. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this up for a few seconds longer. If y'all feel comfortable, you can go ahead and do similar steps for number 6, but I am going to work through it with you, okay? X equals 2 is the extraneous solution. That's why I crossed it out, which wasn't super clear. I will write it clear on the next one. Yes. All right, so are you ready? Hopefully, tell me now if you're not ready and I can wait. Not ready. Okay. Okay, I'll wait. Not a problem at all. All right, let me wait for Alex to tell us he's ready, and then we will move on. So tomorrow, I don't know, what did I put in y'all's schedule? That's literally what we're doing tomorrow. Oh, the review. Sleeping in, hopefully. David, it's noon. It is literally the middle of the day. So the goal is to do some review, April, but I think what I'm gonna do is do an afternoon video session, because y'all apparently want to sleep at noon, which is fine, because TBH, I would have fell asleep. I didn't get out of bed till 9:30 this morning. I just answered stuff from my phone. All right, let's do more math. And then I will let y'all know what time, but I'm going to upload a David, please get like normal sleepish. Never mind, I'm like the same, y'all. Anyway, my mom yelled at me. She doesn't even live with me, and she yelled at me.
Medically speaking.
Okay, it's fine.
Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, are you dumb?
I don't know. I will let y'all know. Like, I'll give y'all another poll, and you can tell me when you want to do it. Okay? Cool. All right. Let's do this. So, what's our first step? First step, y'all. Yes, square. Thank you, Nate. That's a very helpful answer. Math. All right, good. All right, so from here, we're going to square this. Always a good time. So when we square a square root, that gets rid of it, right? So we're just left with 3x. Oh.
I can't see.
No, you can't.
No.
So, like, what can you see?
Oh, wait, never mind.
Maybe you need to put on your glasses.
Alex, why are you like this? Also, don't do drugs. Like, do, like, better drugs if you're going to do drugs. And, like, don't do drugs. Your brains are still developing. Alright, so when we square it, we're left with this boy, which was not written super well by me, but it's fine. David! No! No, no, no. This is how I get fired, y'all. Because on an e-learning day, my kids are talking about drugs in a chat, which is recorded. Good Lord. Alright, the squared shouldn't be here. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm sure. I was gonna drink Coke, but instead I'm drinking Mountain Dew. Here, what do we do? April. Okay. Yes, definitely, Nyla. I know nothing. I am also innocent, like y'all are pretending to be. All right, so from here we're gonna FOIL again. Remember, we're gonna start with our firsts, which are these boys, and we'll get 4, right? And then our outers, these boys. And then our inners. And then, of course, the lasts. Which in this case is, right, a negative times a negative is a positive, and then we have x minus 1 squared, right? And yes to all of y'all talking about FOILing. All right, cool. So from here, let's combine some like terms just for fun. And by just for fun, I mean because you actually need to do it. So when we combine these, bring down this 4 over here. Nothing changes there. And remember, when we square a square root, what happens?
It cancels.
Very good. Thank you. All right, from here, we're just going to combine some like terms. Sanity's sake. All right, so we have this 4 and this negative 1, right? And so those are going to 1, 2, 3, right? So we have 3 plus x minus 4. Just reordered that a little bit for, I don't know. So from here, right, our next goal is again to get the square root by itself. So every time we have a square root, we're trying to get it by itself, right? Yes, it's Mountain Dew. Don't. Alex, no one asked you. All right. Hilarious. I drink Mountain Dew in class all the time. From here, we're going to get the square root by itself. So what's our first step in getting the square root by itself? Anyone at all?
Bring everything to one side and combine like terms.
Right. So, but remember, we want to get the square root by itself, right? So let's just move the 3 and the x, right? Make sense? Cool. All right. So we'll subtract 3, and then we'll subtract x, which I should have done in red so it matched the other one, but oh well. I'm gonna do it in red, y'all. Just like hold up, because it's gonna bother me. Because I'm weird like that. I am definitely that girl who does her notes like that. All right, so from here, right, this becomes 2x minus 2, right? Now, call me out if I do some math wrong, please. All right, and then these cancel out. And then we're just left with negative 4x minus 1. Oh, thank you, Leslie. They're like erasable markers. They're great. Target. Everything from Target. It's here, there you go. It's called like friction, I think. They actually erase. Wait, really? Y'all! Ah! That makes me happy. I just color code things because I'm weird, but that makes me happy. Yes, fine, Alex. We'll do math. Alex, what would we do next? Okay, bye, David.
Okay, so basically,
Yeah.
okay, you subtract the negative, you add the negative 4.
Not quite. How do we get rid of something that's multiplying?
Times 2.
What?
Times squared. Divided by, divided.
Multiplying, right? So we're going to divide. Good, we got there. All right. Good. When we divide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we're left with x minus 1 on this side. And on this side, we have, that simplifies to negative 1/2 x plus half. Because a negative and a negative make a
positive.
Yeah. All right. From here, what are we going to do?
Cancel each other out.
Go back to muting yourself so I can ask everyone as a group and not just you.
Cancel each other out.
That is not the correct answer. Anyone, how do I get rid of the square root?
Square it.
Yeah. Oh, because like everyone's
No, I said it first.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna square it. All right. So that gives us an x minus 1 over here. Oh wait, sorry. The square gets rid of the square root. That's a lie. There we go.
You feel lucky from the eraser.
They actually erase too. It makes me so happy.
So the erasers.
But like not all things actually erase. This is not the point. All right. So from here, now we have to FOIL again. Y'all's favorite. I know. Good. Oh, it's already twice. There we go. I don't know why I left myself that much space. Good. All right. So from here, we're gonna FOIL. It's gonna be a little messy. We'll be okay. All right. So when we FOIL these two, or should I follow the same colors? I probably should. Remember foiling, we're gonna start with first, right? Do these two. All right. So 1/2 times 1/2 is what? Oh, Jesus. Anyone, 1/2 times 1/2.
1/4.
Yay, good. All right, so we get a positive 1/4, right? Because negative times a negative is a positive. And then x squared, of course. All right, now we want to do our outers. So it's going to be these boys. Which is also going to give us 1/4, but is it positive or negative? Yes, good. A negative times a positive is a negative. So we get negative 1/4 x, right? And we have to do the inners. Don't worry, I don't think there's one that's a fraction on your test. And if there is, I will let y'all know in advance. All right, and then minus 1/4 again. All right, and then there's the last, right? And so that's going to be these two. That's positive and a positive is another positive, but still 1/4. Make sense? How do we feel? All right, from here, we need to combine some like terms, right? So we're going to combine these boys, and we get negative 1/2 x, right? Because a fourth minus a fourth. All right, good. And then I'm going to bring the rest of this down. All right. I don't know what just happened, but okay. All right, and then from here, what do we do? Anyone, everyone, probably not everyone, someone. What is happening, Alex? Any ideas? The only difference is this says fractions. Oh, sorry. Wait, down like this way? Or down like this way? It's unclear, Nate. Like, is this good or no? Like here. This is good. Okay. So we can't get x by itself because we have an x over here, right, and an x squared. And when you have both an x squared and an x, you can't get it by itself. So we're going to have to factor. Y'all really don't like fractions, I think. Yes, move everything over to one side. Perfect, Nyla. And yes, we do have to do something with the x's. But first, let's move everything over. And yes, in a sec, Evelyn. All right, so from here, right, we're going to, y'all make me laugh. It brings me joy. All right, add 1 to both sides, right? And then we're going to subtract x, right? Okay. We're going to leave everything in fractions, which I know is like y'all's least favorite thing. All right, so 0 equals, this guy comes down, right? And then a -1/2 minus 1 is what? In an improper fraction. Any ideas, y'all?
Negative times negative is a positive.
But we're not multiplying, we're subtracting.
Negative divided by negative is a positive.
We're still subtracting. 3/2. Perfect. Great. So we remember if we have -1/2 and we take away another one, that's going to be 3/2. Perfect, Nyla. And then what about for the other fraction?
1/4.
No, because we're adding 1.
Five over 4.
Yes,
over
yes.
4.
I'm proud of y'all. Got there. Okay. Cool. Now, we could factor this, but it looks a little bit painful. LOL, Nyla. All right. So from here, instead of factoring it, we could get rid of the fractions, right? What could we multiply by to get rid of the fractions?
Negative 1/4.
No.
What?
What could we multiply all of these terms by to get rid of the fractions? Not 0, because that would get rid of everything, David. We don't want to get rid of everything. 4.
Negative 1.
All right. So we're multiplying every single thing by 4. All right? And in order to do this, we have to do it for everything. All right? Even on this side. So 0 times 4 is 0, right? So we're just left with 0 on the side. But this cancels out, right? So we're left with just x squared. Because 4 divided by 4, x squared, right? And then minus, when we do this, 4 times 3/2, right? Too fast, April? All right. let's take this back for a sec. Okay. So those of y'all who already wrote that, don't worry. All right. So it's 0 times 4. It's okay. We're
April,
going back over it. You're not the
Okay,
only
we'll
one
slow
who
down, okay?
lost. Like, I can tell, even though y'all are silent, that y'all are not enjoying this fraction life.
I can tell you're lost, April.
Like, you're not lost.
I'm not. I'm in my house.
Hilarious. Okay, good. All right, it's okay to be lost, y'all. You just have to tell me because I can't see your faces, so I can't actually tell. All right, so from here, all right, we're multiplying by 4, right? We're multiplying by 4 because that's going to get rid of the fourths, and it also can still get rid of 2, okay? In order to multiply by 4, right, we're just going to go through this. So 0 times 4 is, anything times 4 is
0, 0, 0.
0. Good, Alex. Right? Now over here, right, when we, let's see, right, for our x squared term, then we'll have our x term, all right, plus and minus, perfect. Right, so here, this 4 and this 4, 1/4 times 4, right? This cancels out, and we're left with just 1, right? Nicholas, be better. All right. Yes, Nyla, but we're going to go slowly. But yes, you're right. All right, and then over here, the 4 and the 2, right? We can simplify that to just be a 2, right? And then 3 times 2 is 6.
6.
And then the 4's cancel out, and we're left with just 5. How do we feel?
Why did you cancel out 2?
Because I simplified it with the 4, right? 4 divided by 2, I could simplify to 2 divided by 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now from here, we are finally at the point where we can factor, right? So when we factor, we're going to do 5, negative 6. All right, so what do we get when we factor? Okay. Negative 5 and negative 1. Very nice, David. All right, not so useful, Alex. All right, so from here, right, because those negatives multiply to a positive, and they add to negative 6. All right, so from here, we have x minus 5 and x minus 1.
I can't see.
Oh, sorry. All right, thank you. So yes, more like number 5 than like number 6. I'm gonna triple check about that quiz, and if there is one, I will definitely let y'all know. And we'll do more practice problems like it, okay? Right? Isn't it glorious? Ha.
Is that your GPA?
What?
0.0?
Alex, what did we say about being nice? Okay. So from here, what do we do? Any ideas?
We got 4
Like
wins.
side. So what do we do next? No. If we FOIL, remember, so
You
side
said
note.
just 9.
Sorry? Yes.
You
Very
make them
good.
equal to 0 both, no?
Let them
Yeah.
equal individually.
But real quick, so the reason we don't FOIL is because factoring is what gets us this way, right? This is factoring. And like FOILing would just bring us back over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Sophia?
yeah.
Like, so then we'd just be going backwards. Okay, so we're going to set it equal to 0. Very good. Okay, so x minus 5 equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0.
Yeah.
So
Plus 5.
X,
Plus 5. Plus
excellent.
5.
Yes, you're right.
Oh, my mic's on?
All right, and now we just have to do our check. All right, and so remember with the check, we're only doing the positives, right? So for x equals 5, when we plug it in, We're going to do 2 minus 5 minus 1 equals 3 times 5 plus 1. Okay, no worries, Sophia. All right, and then from here, right, we do 2 minus 4 equals 15 plus 1.
Plus, yeah.
2 minus 2 equals, right? And then we get 0 equals 4. Is that true ever? Yes, extraneous. Very good, David.
Extraneous solution.
So we cross it out because it's an extraneous
Solution.
Right. And then we do the same thing with our other one. So we're going to do, what's it called? X equals 1, right? So 2 minus 1 minus 1 equals,
Is this how they do online classes in college?
not really. Online classes in college are like a whole thing, and they're very rarely live. Like you just do it whenever you want, which is annoying because like you can't tell the professor to slow down, but you can always just pause the video.
This is how my sister does it.
Oh, really? I know like some of them have been lately, like the ones who are usually in person, but at least I never had a class that was. But each their own. Who knows? Did I do this wrong, y'all? I did this wrong.
Be better.
Tell me when I do things wrong. Alex, you be better.
I think she's done. I think she's done. Are you, medically speaking, are you like I'm not trying to be mean. Like,
Why can I hear people? Right, so that's Alex, right? I am pretty sure it's Alex. It's always Alex. All right. So
But that wasn't me.
Uh-huh.
I don't sound like that.
All right, so from here, answer is x equals 1, right?
Really?
What, David? I'm very confused by what David is trying to tell us.
He said F it is.
Yes, I'm confused. All right, how do we feel?
I think I feel Heffa would do a.
Do we feel like we can do practice problems?
Yeah. Just give me the practice.
Huh?
Just
Y'all
give me
have
the
the
practice.
practice problems. All right, David, I'm gonna leave this
I don't know how to do it. I can't write on it. It's online.
Yes, you just write on a separate piece of paper.
Bro, nice minion gif. 10 out of 10.
Alex, what did we say about being nice?
I said nice minion gif.
I don't think that was nice.
I'm gonna send another one.
Lord. Why are you like this? Alright, do y'all want me to do any practice problems with you, or do you want to just ask me questions? Like, what do y'all want?
Could you do all of the practice problems?
If I did all of them, that would defeat the point.
X equals 5.
2 is extraneous. What, David? Want a cat? What is happening?
We got on topic, guys. Now we do 9E.
Okay, good. I'm glad you all understand. I am very confused. Y'all have the practice, Kayla. Like, shouldn't it be in your Teams? What's up?
Do we have to print it? Do we have to print it?
You do not have to print it. You don't have to
Is the
print it.
practice gonna be
do it on paper.
due
So
like
nothing
today?
actually, like, it's not gonna be graded like it would be graded in class. I just put it due so that y'all have a general idea of what it's going to be.
Isn't project due Thursday?
Projects.
You said we had a project due Thursday.
Again, that's not technically due until April 6th. Like, you can turn it in late till April 6th.
So like the recommended due date would be today.
Yeah, it's like I want y'all to stay on schedule, but if you get behind, it is not the end of the world. You will not lose any points, nothing like that.
I think I'll procrastinate until April 6th.
I mean, yeah, Ellen, you can leave now. If you want to do the practice, and if you have questions about the practice, I can answer them. If you have questions about the review, I can answer those. I can literally answer any questions you have right now.
Wait, so like on April 6th, are we gonna show you the work we did?
So I want y'all to have uploaded everything by April 6th.
Okay.
And if you have questions throughout, I'm happy to answer. I've been answering people through chat, right? I answer people whenever I do these video sessions for practice, that kind of stuff. Okay? Okay, bye, Kayla. Have a good day. The 9C review isn't actually due, right? You just have to finish it. Like, it is due in the sense that you have to finish it in order to get a grade on the formative assessment, so the 9AC. And that's due when you get back. So I made due dates in Teams just so you know what order to stay in. But yeah. Let's see.
Wait, I have a question. So the homework you were supposed to get the paper. Never mind.
Yes, okay. So the paper that you're gonna get, your paper you're supposed to get should be online in Teams as an assignment. And you can either print it out if you have access to a printer or just write it on a line piece of paper. Just make sure you're numbering your problem so I know where you are. Okay?
I got a question.
When do you have your first online quiz? So I'm going to give you an online quiz, but technically, so it's going to be open note if you do it while we're off. And if you have to do it in class, then it won't be open note. Okay? So you should do it while we are in the current apocalypse. But technically, you don't have to. But yeah. Cool.
I got a question.
What's up, Alex? Y'all, please don't get the corona. I care about all of you. And if y'all die, I'm going to be so sad. Also, literally just don't put yourselves at risk, please.
Okay, so you do realize that if Marco has corona, we all essentially have it?
No, we don't have corona. We don't have corona.
You mean COVID-19?
Leslie does.
I don't have corona.
Leslie, you gave corona to Lucky.
It's because I literally talked to everybody in here, and if Marco does have it, I would have it. So I would be a carrier, meaning that everybody in this chat essentially has it. If Marco,
So I don't talk to Marco, so not me.
A cold, is it like a dry cough? Because dry coughs and fevers are how you
I just have a dry cough. I don't have a fever yet.
Are you are you done? I think she's done. I think she's done.
Oh, I'm blaming this all on Marco.
She's done.
Okay, y'all, please don't die.
Bye, Miss T.
Anyone have any questions? Hi.
Okay, you have to stay.
I don't think that baby's in STEM.
Y'all, do not die. Please be safe.
Hey, Mom, I mean, we won't die. We'll just get sick.
I don't have
She's on
hospital
FaceTime
level
right now.
sick, okay?
Nina wants to say bye.
I love
But
you.
Oh.
Yo, y'all want some blackberries?
What? Okay, Nicole, what's your question?
Do I look like I want blackberries right now? I want toilet paper.
Oh my god.
Will we get points taken off if we don't, right? Yes.
Oh, it's the other Nicole.
Yeah, there are two Nicoles. It threw me off for a while because they were both messaging me. Yes, Nicole, you have to write extraneous solution. If it's not spelled right, it's okay as long as you tried. But yeah,
can we just write extra? Solution.
No, you have to try.
It's too much work.
But like,
Much work, not this giant problem.
I mean that too, but like, so is that.
but like,
Oh, we're still recording, right? Oh, okay.
I could probably like not, but yeah, that'll be hilarious for whoever. Okay, question 4. Do you want me to do question 4 with you? Also, Gracia, what's your important question?
I think you do all our work.
What?
I think you should do all of our work.
Hilarious.
I'm always hilarious.
Okay, Gracia, no, so according to the schedule, we're going to do a mini review tomorrow, right? We'll do an actual big review before you actually take your test. So I'll give out the review at that point. But we are going to do a mini review tomorrow. I think I'm going to have it so that y'all can do it at whatever time you want. Okay, Sophia, if you have specific questions, you should ask me and I will do the problem. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to like stop recording if I can figure out how to do that. We'll see.
all right, bye.
Bye.